Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Lazy Sunday Review, and happy holidays wherever you may be. Christmas is around the corner, and let's hope Santa gives us some good movies to end the year on a high note. So today is a special day. We kind of have a little bit of a double feature going on today, and I have with me a very special guest, my brother Josh.
Hi people.
He likes to do ASMR things. But yeah, today is a special day. We did kind of had a little bit of a double feature today. We saw two movies tonight. We wanted to see Jumanji, The Next Level, and we also saw Cats 2019. I dragged him to Cats because he dragged me to Frozen. You'll catch that review on Christmas Day. But yeah, so why don't we go ahead and just jump right into this, shall we? Jumanji, The Next Level, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Karen Gillian, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Nick Jonas, Madison Iseman, Alex Wolff, Morgan Turner, and Sir Darius Blain.
Basically, it's about the whole gang. Spencer, Martha, Bethany, and Fridge. They're in college now. They're in that next stage of life. Or they're not all in college.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They're in their next stage of life.
Yeah.
And they all decide, hey, let's meet up. We just go back home. They meet up, but Spencer gets back home first. He goes to NYU now, but he hates it there. And then while he was in his house, Danny Davito comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it was apparently his grandpa.
Yeah, Danny DeVito's his grandpa. Grandpa Eddie?
Yeah, Grandpa Eddie. He was in his garage, and then he saw the Jumanji game.
Yeah.
The one that they apparently destroyed. He wanted to feel like Bravestone again, because he wanted to feel that sense of heroism.
Saw himself as a different person as Bravestone, and that's what he wants to get back. So then he fixes Jumanji, and then ends up going back there. Little to the crew's knowledge. So then they decide to go find him back at his house, and then they find out that he went back into the game. So they want to try to go back and get him, but as the game is pulling them in, it also pulls in Danny DeVito's character, Grandpa Eddie, and his friend Milo. So now we've got a couple of new characters joining the crew. So yeah, that's what the movie's about. I mean, I really liked the first one. It was a pleasant surprise, when they first announced that they were going to direct, or they were going to make a new Jumanji movie, and we saw that The Rock was going to come out in it. Everybody was just kind of rolling their eyes, really? I mean, is Jumanji the type of movie you really want to bring back? But then the movie came out, and
Didn't suck.
it actually didn't suck.
No.
It was actually pretty decent.
A reboot that was decent.
A reboot that was actually pretty decent because they changed a lot of the things. They had all the characters play against what they normally play. So The Rock was Spencer, this awkward, very scared young teenage boy. So it's funny to see this big hulking Rock.
He's just
Yeah, he's allergic to everything and scared of everything. And then we had Karen Gillian playing a an awkward, shy teen girl, and then Kevin Hart was playing Fridge, who's the football jock.
He's used to being this big man, but now he's tiny.
Just a tiny little dude. And then the best one though was Jack Black was playing a teen girl, and it was
Valley Girl.
Yeah, Valley Girl, and he kills it in that movie. He's just that was the best part I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
It was perfect. So as the story goes, whenever a movie makes money, there's bound to be a sequel. So now they made Jumanji The Next Level. So was Jumanji The Next Level able to, actually take it to the next level?
I'd say so.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
It was actually pretty darn good.
Yeah. I remember sitting there in the theater while the trailers were playing, and I just turned to Lazy, and I was like, I am ready for this to be an absolute shit show. But I was pleasantly surprised.
Because, again, they change it up. Now, it's The Rock has to play an old Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
And Kevin Hart now has to play a 74-year-old Danny Glover. So it was funny to see now we've changed those up, and now instead Jack Black is actually Fridge.
I really liked how like the main 4 actors, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillian, and Dwayne Johnson. Not really Karen Gillian, because
Yeah, she doesn't really change in the movie.
yeah, but Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, they all just are faced with this challenge that they have to like embody different personalities. Like Dwayne Johnson has to embody like
an older Danny DeVito. And that's like, it's crazy because I told you this as we were on our way back from the movies, that it's crazy because the actors do so well as their alternate characters that it almost really feels like it's Danny DeVito playing The Rock, like literally talking through The Rock. Kevin Hart was so fucking funny in this movie. Like, I always appreciate it when Kevin Hart kind of like slows himself down and really like, you know, just lets...
He usually plays that like...
Yeah, he talks really fast, and I really appreciate it when he slows down his comedy, because like he has to play an older man and he has to talk a little slower, and it's so perfect, man. He's just like hitting everything. Well, that there, sir, is a hippopotamus. It was just too perfect, man. Oh my god.
Like, did I just kill Eddie by talking too slow? Just like he said I would.
Then we were just having fun with this movie.
We were like wheezing.
Yes. It was a funny movie. I thought it took everything that was great about the first one and still gave us something that was still fresh and new by changing up the characters again. And also, it's like a brand new adventure. It's not in the same place anymore. They're actually going into different locations, which every like action scene was really good. Like I especially like the one where they're in the dune buggies in the desert, because it was just, it looked so cool, and just watching them drive around in the dunes. And that's the cool thing about all the action scenes, is that they all look really good and they're like really entertaining. But anyways, Akwafina is in this. You might have known her from well, she came out in Ocean's 8. That's how you'll know her. So coming to the like what we kind of didn't like about this movie, some of the performances weren't as great as, you know, like The Rock, Jack Black, and Akwafina. Now the first half of the movie, like, they did okay, but I didn't feel like their impressions of their like real life counterparts were as good as in the first one.
The Rock?
Like, I didn't feel like The Rock was as good. I mean, he was funny as Danny DeVito, but I don't know. I just feel like it didn't fit as well as when he played Spencer in the first one. That one like felt so much more like real, because like just the way he was acting as Spencer was really good. Here, Danny DeVito, he's just trying to play like a Jersey accent. It's like, what? We're in Florida? I can't believe we're here.
In Florida?
Are we in Florida? Who is Jumanji? And Jack Black, come on, dude, you can't top his performance as Bethany, or Madison Iseman's character. You can't top that performance. He tries to play like a good Fridge, but I mean, it's just not as great as once you've had that, man.
Not terrible.
It's not terrible. It's just not
great.
It's not great. And then same thing with Akwafina. I didn't believe her at the first half of the movie as her character, but then when we get to the second half of the movie, dude, she is fucking gold. Comedy gold, man. She kills it. She was just so funny playing, because she gets to play Uncle Eddie or Grandpa Eddie. She gets to play Grandpa Eddie in the later part of the movie, and oh man, just her impression of Danny DeVito was spot on. She was really good like that. The pacing was kind of funny. Like, I felt a lot of the jokes went on a little more longer than they should have. Not that they weren't funny. That's not the problem. The problem was just like, you know, it's fun. They're funny jokes. Like they're hitting you with them, and you're just like, all right. But seriously, we got to get back on track. We have to go do this mission. We have a movie to finish. But yeah, I mean, other than that, the movie was good. It was. If you liked the first one, you're gonna like this one. That's all you need to know. It was funny. It was action packed. I liked we got some touching scenes with Eddie and Milo. Those were also really good. It could have used a better villain, but for the most part, hey, you get what you get, and for this to be fun and enjoyable is a plus on it. So I'd give it like a very respectable C+. You know, I enjoyed it. You know, if you had just a few more points of participation, then you probably would have had a B-. Yeah.
I give it probably between a B and a B-.
A B and a B-. Okay. So, as the title also suggests, we saw another movie. Oh, you thought we were done? No, sir. No. We're just getting started. I need a drink for this one. So, Cats 2019, starring Taylor Swift, Jennifer Hudson, James Corden, Idris Elba, Judi Dench, Ian McKellen, Rebel Wilson, Jason Derulo, and featuring Francesca Hayward. So, Cats is a kind of a reboot of one of Broadway's most popular musical, and that's Cats. So, what the premise of Cats is that every year they hold a special event called the Jellicle Ball, because this is where all the cats from the city basically come together and present themselves to the oldest cat, which her name is Old Deuteronomy, played by Judi Dench. And what they do is they present themselves. So they basically do a performance for her, and the one who had the best performance gets to go to what's called the Heatherside Lair. It's like the afterlife. They get to be reborn in a brand new life. So she gets to choose who it is out amongst all the cats that are performing in front of her. So we get to see like different types of cats,
like different storylines
and everything about that. And you know, I think everybody can agree that when we first saw the trailer for this thing,
we were horrified.
We were absolutely horrified. But I think a few of us were cautiously optimistic. But then the movie came out, and it was much worse than we thought.
His party time! The most deserving cat will be reborn so they can be who they've always been before.
Just where to begin with this movie?
I think we should start off with the negatives, because there's a lot more negatives than positives.
There's a lot more negatives than positives. All right, so we'll start off with what we didn't like about the movie. First thing is that CGI, man. That CGI is... It just like hinders the movie. It was rough to watch, man. It's literally like you're watching a high school video that was made by a bunch of high school kids, and like they just basically like crop the face out and stick it on like something like that's dancing.
A sophomore class film project.
There you go. Exactly. That's what it felt like. All that CGI was just super hard to like get past.
Also hated how they CGI'd basically everything else but their hands.
Their hands and their face. Those are the only two.
Like face.
Because the way that they did it was they did motion capture. So they had the people do their performances in front of the camera, and then the camera would basically mark their movement, and then they would go ahead and draw on top of what's there. And that's where I think it hurts the movie the most, because when the scenes are going really fast, you can tell the CGI can't keep up with the performers. It feels so like late. It really slows down the dancing when it should be like really fast, and it every time, and like half of the performances are always like super fast paced. So then like we got a lot of those scenes where it just does not look good because the CGI can't keep up with the performers.
Like, they would do like flips in the air, and then I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, it's just like it's so floaty, and then their faces, man, their faces. When you get to wide shots in this movie, everything you could tell, like the face is just not moving with the body. So like they're dancing around, but the face is like bobbling around, as if like they were just basically stationary and just bobbing their head.
Yeah,
it looks so bad.
I have a very good track record with not falling asleep in movies. Like every single movie I have seen from my baby years until now, I have never fallen asleep in a movie, except this one. Literally, like there'd be like a 4-minute number.
Yeah.
And then like after they like finally like start having a normal conversation, and then there'd be a pause, and I'd be like, please don't sing it. Please don't sing it. Yeah. And then sure enough, they start singing again. And then I was like literally out. my god, I was falling asleep.
Yeah.
And then I'd like shake myself. I'm like, I have to stay up. I took slurp. I wanted to save my icy, but I had to slurp it so I'd stay awake.
I had to ration my sugars just to keep myself up.
Yeah.
Cats is a very tough sell. It's a very kind of like bold production, and it's not for the uninitiated. Because like I spent 4 years in theater, so like we did a lot in theater. We did a lot of Broadway shows like this. So one of the ones that I'm familiar with is the original Cats. In the 90s, they made like a live performance that they made into a motion picture. It looked really nice, and they decided to do it in an actual Broadway format. So Cats is a tough one because it's not your average play. All of the stories are basically told through poems that the cats are saying as they're performing. But like I said, the choreography is just as integral to telling the story as the song itself. For me, I felt like a lot of the dancing was more showy than it was actually interpreting the story that they were trying to tell. And all of it looked pretty much the same. They were like doing twirls, and then like of course your little ballerina things.
And one thing that I personally hated about this movie is that it feels like it's just trying to shove star power down my throat.
Yes.
It's like right here on this list, the main character is Victoria, Francesca Hayward.
Yeah.
But on this list, she is number 9.
Yeah.
She's listed as the 9th person. The top 8 are like Taylor Swift, Jennifer Hudson, James Corden, Idris Elba, all of them.
Could we talk about, okay, since we're on the cast, let's talk about why Hollywood continues to cast James Corden and Rebel Wilson in things. I don't know. They get a egregious amount of screen time in this movie, and their performances are horrible. It's super cringeworthy. I can't stand. Like, you have terrible CGI, terrible choreography. The music was also, they changed up the songs to fit a more modern era. So then it made it hard
to basically fit Jason Derulo and Taylor Swift.
to fit Jason Derulo, Taylor Swift, and then James Corden. Since he can't sing, they had to change the music for him, and it was just a clusterfuck of terrible things happening all at once. You had James Corden's terrible acting, you had the terrible CGI, terrible choreography, and terrible singing, all in one moment, and they get just too much screen time. So let's go ahead and talk about the other thing in this movie that was terrible, and that was Rebel Wilson. I don't even know how to explain what my eyes witnessed.
It's basically Fat Amy as a cat.
It's Fat Amy as a cat,
which is basically everything.
When she sings, dude, like it just does not. It does not go with what the beat is. I mean, I thought she did a good job in Pitch Perfect. I thought she had some like good bars, but the music that she was singing, I don't think fit the range that she sings at.
This is a problem with Rebel Wilson, or like any character, like Melissa McCartney is an example. But I heard that she is trying to branch away from that.
Yes,
which I can acknowledge and appreciate. But like, if one character works, that's that one character. Yeah. Don't play it in another movie as another character.
I swear, I don't think we need to call her Rebel Wilson anymore. It's just like Fat Amy. Just like Fat Amy in Cats. Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect.
It's the same thing with, what's that one movie? Hustler? The Hustler?
Yes, the Hustler.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. So Fat Amy
plays the same thing.
The Hustler, or some, I forget what the name of that movie is. We'll put it in here, right? Boom. There's a picture of that movie that we're talking about.
Yeah. Should we get into the positive?
I think so.
And that was Memory.
Oh yeah, Jennifer Hudson in this movie fucking killed it with Memory. That was easily the best part, and it was like the only thing that truly redeemed the movie.
I have no words.
You can feel
the respect.
There you go. I could feel the respect that everybody had in the theater to Jennifer Hudson's performance. It was just absolutely fantastic.
Like, you could just, I felt the emotion in like my bones. Yeah. She just kills it. I like turned to lazy while she was just letting us have it with Memory.
Yeah.
And then like I just look at him, and then he like I just see like tears strolling down his face.
What can I say, man? I'm a sucker for like bomb ass vocals and like haunting lyrics. So with all that being said, I'll probably give Cats kind of a disappointed C-. Like, you know, there was
The only reason why you're here is because of memory.
only
Reason.
Yeah, watch it for that. If you're gonna watch that movie, memory is where it's at.
Stay awake for that.
Stay awake
part.
for that part because it is amazing.
I would give Cats. If it didn't have memory, like taking away memory, it'd be an absolute F. I'd give it probably the same as you, a C-.
A C-.
Either a very high D+ or very low C-.
C-. Well, that's it for the review, you guys. But tell us, did you guys see Cats or Jumanji? Did you love them? Did you hate them? Put your comments in the comments section down below. And if you like our reviews, go ahead and subscribe to my channel at Lazy Sunday Review, and then switch your notifications on so that way anytime I release a new video, you'll know. Thank you for joining me today, Josh.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It was lovely having this conversation, not only with you, but with the viewers.
With the viewers, yes, absolutely. So, you guys have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next time.
The Force will be with you.